Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, or welcome to the channel if this is your first time here. Hello, how are you? My name is Jimmy, I am the Scottish Geek Guy, and today we are going to crack on with another movie review. I'm just back from seeing Fast X at the cinema. So Vin Diesel and most of the gang are back for the 10th instalment of the Fast saga, 11 if you count Hobbs and Shaw. I can't believe this franchise has 11 movies in it. I remember watching the first movie in the Odeon in Glasgow city centre back in, I think it was 2001 when it came out. That Odeon's actually no longer there. If you told me then that 22 years later there would be almost a dozen movies in this franchise and that they would end up going to space, I would have thought you were smoking something. But here we are, 20-something years later, 10, 11 movies later, including a trip to space, and we're at Fast X. In the director's chair this time we have Louis Leterrier taking over from franchise regular Justin Lin. Justin Lin was actually the original director on this movie, but he left the production, I think, like 10 days into filming due to creative differences. To be a fly on the wall on those meetings, that would be amazing. It's almost like the behind-the-scenes story of the Fast movies, potentially more interesting than the actual movies themselves. Maybe one day we'll find out. Maybe someone was shooting like a behind-the-scenes documentary and one day we'll get an amazing documentary about that. Probably not, but you know, one can hope. But that's the behind-the-scenes story of Fast X. What about the actual story of Fast X? I mean, on the one hand, there's not a lot plot-wise. It's fairly simple. It's fairly straightforward. On the other hand, there's so much movie in this movie. I'll try and give a spoiler-free breakdown of the movie, but there might be one or two mild spoilers here. So if you want to see this movie completely cold, you know, you don't want to know anything about it, pause this video, go and see the movie, come back, and you know, watch this video. Fast X opens with some familiar-looking scenes if you're a franchise fan. If you're a fast franchise fan. Say that 3 times really fast, which, as it happens, is the best Fast movie. But, you know, ranking the Fast movies is something I'll hold off for another video at some point in the future when the franchise is finished. Probably like 2056, when the inevitable Fast and the Furious and Transformers crossover movie happens. Make it happen, please, Universal and Paramount. Anyway, we're in Rio. We're seeing the events of Fast 5, at least the closing kind of like action sequence of Fast 5 on the bridge with them dragging the safe. We're seeing that happen, but from a slightly different point of view. Dom and Brian are being chased by the bad guy in Fast 5. We know that already. We saw that in Fast 5. But what you didn't see was just out of frame in Fast 5 was apparently Jason Momoa as the son of the bad guy in Fast 5. Apologies, I can't remember the character's name or the actor's name, but the bad guy in Fast 5, he has a son. It's Jason Momoa. He was there the whole time. He was injured in the events of Fast 5, but not killed. And now, 10 years later, he is back to exact revenge on the Fast and the Furious gang. Why he waited 10 years to exact his revenge, who knows? Retconned. But yeah, that's the setup. Cut 10 years later to the present day, and the gang are in Rome. Shock horror goes wrong, and what ensues can best be described as a Twisted Metal meets Rocket League in Rome. That's a movie that I definitely would watch. After the destruction derby of Rome, the gang are split up into various different little groups, and they're off on their own little like side missions to, you know, get the various things that they need to kind of get to where they need to go. And that's pretty much it plot-wise. That's all kind of established in the first, 20, 25 minutes or so. The following 2 hours, yes, this movie is 2 hours and 20 minutes long or something like that, is a collection of various action sequences and set pieces that take Dom and their family across the globe again. Tej, Roman and Ramsey, they're off on their little mission that takes them to a few different places, namely London being one of them. Their little adventure, to be honest, kind of feels unnecessary. that could have been cut from the movie, and it would have saved the movie a good 20 minutes or so, which I think would have been for the better of the movie. But then again, that means those characters would have not much to do. John Cena's Jacob is back. That's Dom's brother. He was introduced in Fast 9, or F9, the Fast Saga, to give it its official title. Letty's got her own thing to do. I won't go into too much spoilers about what that is. Dom's doing his thing. Mia is there in one or two scenes, but her character is kind of relegated to a cameo again. But the bulk of the movie is Dom being terrorised by Dante, by Jason Momoa's Dante. Charlize Theron's Cypher is back. Scott Eastwood's character, does he have a name? He's back as well. Kurt Russell's Mr. Nobody is nowhere to be found. In his place, however, is Reacher himself, Alan Ritchson, and Miss Marvel herself, Brie Larson. But again, I won't say too much about what they do for fear of spoilers, but they're there and they represent the agency. It's not the CIA. Was it ever the CIA or the FBI? Anyway, in this movie, they're just called the agency. There's probably more characters that I'm not mentioning, but pretty much everyone, or most people, are back. So what did I think of Fast X? Well, it's not amazing. It's not the best Fast and Furious movie, but it's certainly not the worst. Probably sits somewhere in the middle, maybe in the lower half, if I'm being honest. The best thing about Fast X, by far, is Jason Momoa. He's just clearly having an absolute ball in this movie. He's hamming it up, over the top villain style, and just loving every minute of it. Like most of the Fast movies, it kind of feels like everyone's having fun with it. Everyone's in on the joke. Everyone knows that these are big, dumb action movies. Everyone apart from Vin Diesel is. It kind of feels like he's in his own movie. He thinks he's in like a serious action movie. Like he thinks he's in like a Bourne Identity movie or a Bond movie or something like that. He doesn't realise that these are big, dumb action movies where cars fly off of buildings and land safely, cars go into space, and that's just accepted. That's a thing that happens. Sadly, Vin Diesel, I think, is actually the weakest part of the movie, and his Groot voice is kind of it's incoherent at times with his family. Even John Cena, who seems to be playing a completely different character from his character in F9 in the space. What's that? From F9, the Fast Saga, to Fast X, his character has changed entirely. He's gone from a stony-faced bad guy who is redeemed at the end of Fast 9, spoilers, to the jokey Uncle Muscles, who is there to be slight comic relief, which is not a bad thing. John Cena's got a good screen presence, but yeah, his character, he's playing someone completely different. But crucially, he's in on the joke. He gets that he's in a big dumb action movie, and doesn't take it too seriously. Speaking of, quick tangent here, what is with the naming convention of the Fast movies? It just they've got no coherence. They don't have any kind of connectivity. You go from The Fast and the Furious to Too Fast, Too Furious. Then you've got The Fast and the Furious : Tokyo Drift. Then you have simply Fast and Furious, losing the definite articles, losing the Viz. Then you go to Fast 5. Then is it Furious 6 or Fast and Furious 6? Then you've got Fast 7 or Furious 7. Then you've got the Fate, the F8, the Fate of the Furious. Then you've got Hobbs and Shaw presents. Then you've got Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw. Then you've got F9, the Fast Saga, which I think is its official title. And now we have Fast X. Now we're, using Roman numerals for the first time ever. Yeah, so that's my little tirade on the naming of the Fast movies. Back to the review. It's too long. As I said, I think the runtime is 2 hours and 20 minutes. I'll flash up I'll check what the runtime is and flash it up here. But yeah, it's 20, 30 minutes too long. The action set pieces, for the most part, are actually quite well done. They usually are in the Fast movies, but there's one or two too many of them. The car action, correction, like fatigue just kind of sets in at some point with them. There is a cool shot towards the end of the movie that I feel is a definite callback to the first Fast and Furious movie, where like the camera, it's almost like it's a mini drone and it flies into the car and it goes down like the muscly arm of the driver and onto the gear stick and like in through the engine and, you know, the inner workings of the car and through the like ignition flames and, you know, out of the exhaust. Like that's a cool shot, and it definitely feels like it's a callback to the first movie. But yeah, not since Fast 7 has there been a good Fast and the Furious movie, Hobbs and Shaw aside, because that's like a side movie, spin-off, that's the word, that's a spin-off movie. But yeah, Fast 7 was the last time I feel like there was a definitive or an objectively good Fast movie. It kind of feels like they should have maybe just ended it with Fast 7. It was you know, it was a perfect ending, and you know, everyone shared it here at the end when, you know, the cars drive off and you've got that song playing and with it, you know, yeah, that would have been a good way to end the franchise. But, you know, they make too much money and they keep making them, so here we are. I should say that Fast X is actually part of like a 2 or a 3 movie planned trilogy to close the movie, to close the franchise out, I think, from what I've read online. This definitely ends on a cliffhanger. I think there's at least 1 or 2 more to come, you know, whether it's Fast 11 or Fast 12 or Fast X1, Fast X2, Fast X3. Who knows what the random name generator will spit out next time for the next movies. Going to give this one 6 out of 10. As I said, it's not the best Fast and the Furious movie. Certainly not the worst. What is the worst Fast and Furious movie? I don't actually know. Would it be 8? Jason Momoa is really the best thing about this movie. He's really kind of the only reason to watch it. He's having an absolute ball, and it's, you know, it's just hard to not like be in on the joke with him and enjoy it in the same way that he's enjoying it. It's almost like he's watching a Fast movie while he's being part of it, and he's like, look at how mental this is. This is cool. So that does make it enjoyable, and it's kind of the only reason that I would recommend this movie. And that's us. So 6 out of 10 for Fast X. Thanks very much for watching, everybody. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you've something you want to comment on it. You can also subscribe. And yeah, thanks very much for watching, and I will catch you on the next video.